Hello, everybody. My name is Anjali, and welcome to Fem Stories. We are shooting this episodic series called CEO and Female Entrepreneurs, the Grit and Grace, and bringing their stories, their shine, the overall story to our studio and bringing to the viewers. Today, we have a trailblazer. She's a powerhouse herself. Her name is Tanya Dhirasaria. Welcome, Tanya. She is a founder of Zoe and Mama Life. She has done her course in IIM Bangalore, also Mika in Ahmedabad, and also the NIFT. She's also a NIFT graduate. I mean, that's amazing, right? It's a National Institute of Fashion Technology in India, one of the key institutes for pursuing your fashion degree and understanding creativity in textile designing is what she did. And she's worked for Myntra, she's worked for Reliance Brands, and she's a creator at heart. And of course, a fashion designer too, that as she has done, and she's been to Shark Tank. So I think it'll be a huge episode for us to learn and to witness her journey and to learn from her. You know, why did she go to NIFT? What is she doing in Shark Tank? And about her husband, who is the co-founder on one of our ventures. So let's take right away to Tanya and welcome her to the studio. Welcome, Tanya.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the warm and amazing intro. I think I'm going to write it down everywhere.
You have it. It's yours. You own it. So tell us
Thank you.
about yourself. Tell us about your story, about you.
Okay. I'm Tanya and I'm the founder of Zoe and Mama Life.
Nice.
At Zoe, I'm helping women lose weight with the help of our detox teas, and
Wow.
personalized diet charts, and workout plans.
Nice.
And at Mama Life, we are helping breastfeeding moms meet their daily protein requirements with the help of our protein shakes.
Very good. I think we're going to have fantastic views on this one because we're talking about weight loss, guys.
Yes.
Oh my God. Where did the entrepreneurship go suddenly when it talks about the weight loss? At the end of the day, we all want to look good, right? And
Yes.
slim. All right. So I want to talk a little bit more about your brands.
Uh-huh.
You know, when did you start the journey of entrepreneurship? It's a very different journey, right? You
Yeah.
really don't have a lot of cushion with you.
Yeah.
It's a journey of its
Yeah.
own. You really
Yeah.
don't have the financial freedom right up front.
Exactly.
Even if your idea will fly or flop, or if your co-founders or your journey or financial journey, there are too many moving dimensions, moving pieces. Tell us about, just walk us through your journey and what were the challenges you faced and what were the learnings out of it.
Okay. So, I graduated from NIFT in 2008, and the first salary that I got was just 12,000 rupees, right? And
That is a blow to my mind. 12,000 rupees, you said?
12,000 rupees was my first salary, and I was like, what will I do with this? I did some simple math and I realized that, by the time I reach somewhere in life, it's going to be too late. And
That's like $200, like
Yeah.
$250. Oh my God.
yes, and that too after studying from the best fashion technology
Yeah.
institute in the country. And I decided I have to fast track my career,
Yeah.
and I decided to then go for an MBA.
Yes.
And I went to MICA where I studied marketing, advertisement, brand management.
Yeah.
And post that, I joined Reliance Brands. And at Reliance Brands, my salary was good. So I
Yes.
jumped from like 12,000 a month to finally a CTC of 10 lakhs, which I
Yes.
think was good.
Yes.
And then I went on to work with Myntra. So at Reliance and Myntra, I was in the fashion industry.
Yeah.
I was very successful. But at the same time, I felt that I was somewhere kind of, becoming a corporate slave,
Yeah.
right? And
9
although
to
like,
5.
yes, 9 to 10 maybe, not even 9 to 5.
Like here it's like 9 to 10. And then after
Exactly.
that, there's a peer pressure. If you leave the
Exactly.
workplace, I've heard, and I worked in myself in India,
Yeah.
then you're like looked down upon. Well, how can you go so
Exactly.
early? And like, what the? It's
So-
WTF.
So I know I shouldn't be talking about it, but at
We
Reliance,
should be talking about it. We'll talk about NIFT graduate
Yeah.
taking $200 salary. Absolutely no. And we are also talking from 9 to 10 p.m.
Yeah.
for a lady, and then taking up peer pressure, of not going early or at
Yeah.
least on time. 10 p.m.
Yes.
is not the time to go home. Basically, you don't have a work-life balance. technically.
Exactly.
I mean, what do you
And-
do after that? You eat and sleep.
Yes, so actually, Reliance was like that. It was crazy. However, in retrospect, I feel that a lot of the dedication and discipline that I have today as an entrepreneur has come from that experience. I know it may just
Nice.
sound a little shocking to you,
Yes.
but in
No, but
retrospect, yeah.
you create that muscle somewhere.
Yes,
Like
yes.
you create a muscle of J-lo-fying.
you develop a thick skin, you know.
develop a thick
like
skin,
all
that's a
those
muscle, yeah.
you know, bashings that you hear kind of make you very thick skinned, and you're able to accept no and failure and rejections more gracefully as an entrepreneur because of all of that you've JLo'd in your job life. And then I joined Myntra. Myntra was not like that.
Myntra must be fun.
Myntra was fun, you know. It was like the poster boy of startups. So extremely good work culture,
Nice.
good facilities, and also a very, very thriving environment where everybody around me was so smart. All your IITians, IM grads,
So
talking
working with smarter
numbers.
people, a
Yes.
healthy work style, a healthy
Exactly.
workplace. So
Yeah.
Myntra guys, you should
Yeah.
listen to us and you should tell us that we are actually
Yeah.
talking about good about you.
Yeah.
So we are doing good marketing for Myntra
Exactly.
as well.
So, you know, when I joined Myntra, suddenly that startup Kida started,
Yeah.
you know, rising in me. And although at that time I had not thought about becoming an entrepreneur myself, but I was in that ecosystem of startups, talking numbers and LTV and CAC and retention,
Yeah.
you know. And that's when I happened to meet my husband.
Yeah.
Through
So he was
like,
at Myntra?
no, so we met via a matrimonial platform.
Nice.
We got introduced to each other through our parents, and
Okay.
at that time he had just sold his company to Quicker, and he was looking to start out again. And we connected at multiple levels. Like we really bonded very well. And he said that, you know, let's start something together.
Yeah.
And I said, why not? I have nothing to lose. I was in Bangalore. I was going to get married to him. Shift back to Gurgaon.
Yes.
So I was like, yeah, let's take the plunge. So we
Yeah.
decided to start something first.
Yes.
And what we'll do, that came much later.
Nice. See, this is how the marriages should happen.
Yes.
First decide the startup and then I'll get married to you.
Yeah, and sometimes
I love
feel-
it. Nice.
And I feel that a lot of times it's destiny, right?
Yes.
Like, you know, when I started this, I had not planned anything. For
Yes.
me, it was like instead of taking up another job, I'm doing a venture of my own. And today I feel like I can't go back. Like now I'm an entrepreneur and I just want to do more and more and more. And
It's the
be
hunger. Like it's a
successful.
place
Yes.
that you can just keep filling and it's like a
Exactly.
bottomless pit. You just
Exactly.
need to do more. I can hear you because there's somewhere I'm also going through that journey.
Yeah.
I was never an entrepreneur. I never ran a business
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
I came to India.
Yeah.
And there has been a shift in the mindset ever since I
Exactly.
have opened my own LLC.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a US company.
Yeah.
I mean, regardless of where it is, the mind shift
Yeah.
actually is very liberating.
Exactly.
Even if you don't
Exactly.
get the paying clients the next week or the next
Exactly.
month,
Yeah.
the hunger to be your own boss
Exactly.
and the space is so liberating. I loved it.
I know.
And I'm on my second venture already. That speaks
Oh, that's
volumes about in
amazing.
terms
Yeah.
of this is my
Yeah.
second venture,
Oh,
by the
wow.
way. Fem Stories.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Great. So talking about husband, did you finish your story? Go ahead. We can,
No, we'll talk about the
we
husband.
can edit that.
Okay.
Hey,
So
keep
what
going.
was the story? I forgot.
Oh, no, you were still on the marital part that you married your husband and then you will decide what
Yeah.
you'll do later.
Yeah.
And then that's how so basically your career choices and your education choices,
Yeah.
you know, sort of shifted and sort of shaped your entrepreneurship
Yes.
journey, or maybe you landed there based on what you learned
Yeah.
in your education and in your workplaces pretty much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, everything that I learned at Reliance and at Myntra and during my 12,000 rupee salary.
That's a highlight.
Yes. So all of those actually helped me launch Zoe very successfully. So,
Yeah.
I learned so much about marketing, I learned about design, I learned about brand management, market research, getting sales on your website,
Yeah.
and all of this education and work experience that I had, all of it came together. When I started my brand, and I feel that if I wouldn't have gone through this, maybe I would not have been able to launch Zoe
Yeah.
the way it is.
Yeah.
And from day one, the focus was on customer experience, on having a great story,
Yeah.
on having great products.
Yeah.
And a lot of people tell me that, you studied fashion all your life and
Yeah.
you did something in food and nutrition. And I tell them that, it's actually the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the product which is changing, but everything else that you're doing is kind of your experience.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a creativity.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, how creative you are on the canvas to
Yeah.
design a dress,
Yeah.
and how creative you can actually be with what you're designing as a
Yeah.
product.
Exactly.
So, when did you start becoming profitable?
So this is a very, very interesting question. It was a very, very tough journey.
Yeah.
When we started the first 3 years, we were still trying to find the product market fit. Like I said,
First 3 years.
it took us 3 years, right? We started as a cold pressed juice company because we thought that in India,
Yeah.
people were nutrition deficient,
Yeah.
and we wanted to kind of solve for
It's a good
that.
idea.
But when we launched it, we realized that nobody in India cared about nutrition. At least 8 years ago, no one cared about nutrition, right? And then we said, what next?
We care about chola bhatura
Exactly.
and the street food
and,
too much.
And the funny thing is that my husband wanted to launch a samosa brand. He said, let's launch a brand called tapsamosa.com where we are doing online samosa delivery. And I told him that, I can't do this. Like, I want to do something more meaningful with my life and I can't sell samosas. And then we were like,
God.
"Theek hai, let's think on the,
Can't sell samosas.
So then we came up with cold pressed juices, but we realized nobody in India wanted it. So then we became a fresh foods company. We got ourselves listed on Zomato, and we
Nice.
were selling parfaits and vegan coffees and extremely good quality sandwiches. And that was an instant hit. However, we were not making money because there were no margins. We were using
Breaking
very,
evens.
like we were actually in losses. So then again, we were like, ab kya kare? So then what we decided to make some margins, we started selling this in bundles. So instead of selling like something like a sandwich for 200 rupees, we created a pack for your entire day for 1000 rupee where we were giving you everything that you needed to consume in a day. So there we started making money.
Got it.
And then we said, how do we go to all the cities in India? So we created an e-commerce format of this product, and that's when we became profitable. So year one we did like 15 lakhs and all losses. Year two we did revenues of 33 lakhs, all losses.
Wow.
And in the third year we jumped from 33 lakhs to 10 crores. So
Wow.
it was major. It was a major boost to us as entrepreneurs. And finally we felt that the 3 years of self-doubt and questioning every move paid off.
Yeah.
So I think that if you want to be an entrepreneur, you need to have that kind of conviction and faith in yourself.
The risk appetite.
Exactly.
So, guys, 10 lakhs, 33 lakhs to 10 crores.
Yeah.
What shifted? Strategy, D2C brand, making it e-commerce. But then you actually learn it from the first day.
Exactly.
It's not that the switch came after the third year.
Exactly.
So that's the journey.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. You talked about your husband.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's amazing to have your husband as a co-founder in your journey. I think, in my opinion,
Yeah.
I think supportive husband
Yeah.
in today's time is a dream.
Yeah. I agree.
Because I think it's not easy. So you're a lucky one. It's a dream because they do not know how to handle a successful
Yeah.
and an independent woman.
Exactly.
And these days, if the woman is an entrepreneur or leader or even a kick-ass coder, she will have 15 year or 15 hours or 10 hours of her life daily working on something besides taking care of him, kids,
Exactly.
home.
Exactly.
Not every man
Yeah.
has a muscle to accept it. And even if they accept it somewhere on the surface, not everybody understands it,
Yeah.
respects it, values it. And there are people who actually devalues you.
Yeah.
You're not good enough. What do you
Yeah.
think you are?
Yeah.
You think you will become an entrepreneur? You think you'll become make in crores and lakhs? I'll tell you who you are. That sort of internal dialogue, if not on the surface, is existing.
Yeah.
It's sad, but it's true. And I think if you have to lose anyone, I mean, according to me, if you really value your own self-respect, your own self-esteem, you should be willing to lose anyone
Yeah.
except your own self-respect
Yeah.
in case you're facing any abuse of this
Exactly.
sort. But I think in your case, you're a lucky
Yeah.
lady having a supportive husband, getting married and then dealing with your startup ideas. And again, he sold his first company. So
Yeah.
he has that muscle built in already.
Yeah.
And then you come together. So tell me about that, especially from the societal perspective that I explained. Also from your experience in terms of how he looks at you and, how that marriage came together.
Yeah. So I feel that in the husband department, at least, I lucked out.
Yes.
I mean, I feel very fortunate that I found Karan.
Yes.
And it's crazy, like we met through parents. And we spent 2 days together, and after 2 days he told me it's a yes from my side.
We are having an amazing time here. I mean, kudos to you, Karan. Great choice.
Yeah.
But this is an amazing story once again.
Yeah. So, I mean, he said, I understand that you'll need time. So take your time, but it's a yes from my side. And, suddenly the ball was on my court. And I was like, what do I do? Here's an amazing guy who's just so flexible, so accommodating, so sweet. And, he was also a very nice person, like the way he conducted himself around people, how he respected everyone around him. That I was also sure in maybe 2 days of meeting him, but I still took 2 months and we decided to start up together. So I think it was a huge risk that both of us took at that time,
Oh
right?
God, you had a high risk appetite, both in professional and personal life.
Yes, but professionally more so, because I know of so many husbands and wives who start things together, but it doesn't work out because people are different, and
They
like
bring
you
personal
mentioned,
stories to the work.
exactly,
Yeah.
and like you mentioned, once you are together, there are so many other elements attached to you. Like you have your family setup, you have the whole dynamics of power, of money,
Egos comes into pictures.
Yeah, so but
Sad.
in our case, we feel that both of us were very fortunate.
Yeah.
Because end of the day, both of us are very flexible and we really respect each other. And luckily for us, we had complementary skill sets. I was the right
Very
brain
good,
of the
yeah.
company, he was the left brain. So whatever we told each other, we really valued. And we always made sure that we trusted each other's instincts and worked accordingly. So that
That's
played
amazing.
very well.
How long have you been married?
We've been married for 8 years now.
Nice.
And it's been great.
Yes.
However, I also, since we are talking about it, I want to tell you that, it's always not very rosy.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's a work that you do daily.
exactly.
And you respect at heart and you work on
Exactly.
it and you support it. I mean, that's why I
Yes.
said it's a very important.
Yeah.
A good partner, if you create the whole chart of an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
a good partner is very important. And like Michelle Obama also says, right?
Exactly.
It's a very important decision who you marry.
Yeah.
Because, she said she was actually giving a very good podcast to young women in college or
Yeah.
something. She was called in. And she said, do not focus on, romantic partners. Do not focus on these things at this point in
Yeah.
time, who you are dating or whatever.
Yeah.
Focus on who you want to become.
Yeah.
Because if I had focused on these things when I was your age, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be married to President of the United States right now.
Yeah.
She is, and
Oh, wow.
I'm her biggest fan. The way her delivery is and the way she
Yeah.
speaks is not just only amazing, and her voice has a power,
Yeah.
and the meaning of her words is amazing. I mean, it just
Yes.
uplifts you so much. So again, in your journey, clearly, supportive husband is one of
Supportive
the very,
husband,
very
yes.
important key factor.
Yeah.
Amazing. Tell us about a good thing and a bad thing about him. Okay.
So a good thing about him is that he really makes me feel very special. And even today, he loves talking about me, and he may be meeting the biggest of peoples, but he'll always tell them, oh, Tanya's building this, Tanya's building that, you have to meet her, she's amazing. So I
Nice.
feel very special and I
Yeah.
feel very touched, when he's like telling everyone about me all the time.
Yeah.
Bad thing is he pushes me too much. ये क्यों नहीं किया, वो क्यों नहीं किया,
Is that a
जल्दी
bad
कर.
thing? That's also giving you
It's a good thing,
pushing
but
into your good
yeah,
space.
like he's
Amazing.
right now, like we are not running the venture together. However, he's like my constant. He checks with me every day on what's going on,
Yeah.
if I need any help, and if I need any help with connections or work. And I'm working on a new brand, like I mentioned. So
Mama
he's
for life.
Mama Life.
Mama life.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so he keeps checking on me. He keeps connecting me to all the relevant folks who can help me fast track all my work. And I just feel very blessed that I have a husband who cares so much about me.
Yeah.
And his expectations from me are very simple. He just wants me to give him 30 minutes every day where we can sit and talk.
That's amazing, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish everybody gets a partner like Tanya has. Karan, kudos to you. But I guess this is one of the very key factors in any entrepreneurship journey. So for all those women out there, and if you have supportive husbands, supportive support, a great support system like my previous guest had, I think that's one of the key factors. Somewhere key factors that becomes a very strong foundation, a huge fulcrum to your success. Well, while we are in the societal husband family realm,
Yeah.
I would like to delve deeper into this topic. It's a little sensitive topic because I think I feel people like you when you are at their level. There's a lot of people love you or adore you, that she's amazing, she's great, she's very
Yeah.
cute, when they don't see you as their threat.
Yeah.
And I think it's a human psychology as well, but also in the journey of success and journey of building brands. I'm sure somebody like you can be a great person to answer this question. But the moment if that person starts gaining power, start energy shifting, or start elevating in the society, create the status, create the 10 crores, create money, create power, those very people, they actually change. They say that, oh, she's now a threat to me, wow, she's kind of raising her power. What is wrong with her? Has she changed? She doesn't talk to me. That's the version of telling that she's a threat, but each one of us can have a different version. It makes people uncomfortable, right? And let's address it. It happens. Yeah, so I think we really need to know, we need to understand, have you met such people who who saw you as a threat, and they actually saw you so lovey-dovey and nice, in the beginning, but the power equation shifted?
Yeah. So I have a different perspective on it. I really think that all of this is very mutual, right? And I think that it's all about like the energy and the telepathy that you have with the other person. So a lot of times what happens is that it's happened with me. Like I've seen people becoming successful. Family maybe hota hai. We all have relatives who are suddenly very successful and they stop like giving you bhav, so to say, right? And we feel that, oh, now this person is no longer accessible. So I've learned from that. I've seen this in my family that, people, once they become successful, they treat you differently. And I always made sure that I don't want to change that equation I have with anyone. So luckily for me, I feel that I've not faced that. Right.
Nice.
Like I try to maintain the same level that I have with others, like when it comes to relationships. And, if there was somebody who I know from a NIFT day, the way I interact with that person will always be the same. At Mica, I was a different person. So the kind of friends I have there, when I meet them today, I'll talk to them in the same way that I talked to them while I was in college. The colleagues that I have, or at Zoe and Mama Life, the employees that I have, I'll try to maintain that same power play, the same energy, the same emotion, and that's the reason why I've not faced this. In fact, I've been an entrepreneur for 8 years now. And there are some employees who are with me since the beginning, right? And there must be a reason for that. Maybe because the kind of warmth that I show them today is the same as what I
Used to
showed them
be.
earlier, right?
Yeah.
So I think it totally depends on you. Like today we see so many success stories, and thanks to Shark Tank and other platforms, there are some entrepreneurs who suddenly become so much in the limelight that they become inaccessible. But eventually it's about how you
Conduct.
build and maintain your relations.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. That's a very, very important and very interesting perspective in terms of how you take that into consideration. Even if you don't give that vibe, maybe they don't see. I mean, even if it's about them, it's not about you. Even if you're busy for 24 hours as opposed to 20 hours or 10 hours, it's about their perspective. But how you change that
Exactly.
equation also is very important.
Exactly.
Awesome. 10 on 10. All right. You talked about NIFT and Shark Tank. Amazing stories right there. Tell us about Shark Tank experience. Did you get the funding? Did you work with any one of the sharks there? Or what was it like?
So unfortunately, we did not get funded. And I was not prepared for this question, but maybe I want to talk about something
Yeah.
very personal here.
Sure.
And because we are talking about women and
Yes.
how women do business, and I want everyone to kind of retrospect after they listen to me. So, like when the whole Shark Tank thing was going on, like from the application to the day we went for the audition, throughout that period, my younger one was, an infant. She was 2 months old when we applied for Shark Tank, and when we went for the final audition, she was 6, 7 months old,
Yeah.
and I was still feeding her, right? And for me, like mentally, I was not at all ready
Yeah.
for that kind of a platform. I was a good team player and I was supporting my husband. However, like mentally, I was not there. And
Yeah,
today, when I
it's
think
early.
of it, I feel very sad. I feel that maybe I applied there at the wrong time and I could have done much more. I didn't do too much justice. But then I tell myself that, maybe at that time, my family, my children were more important.
Yeah.
Right. And I feel that women, especially, face this a lot throughout their lives.
Yeah.
There are different phases where you have to prioritize your husband, your children, your
Yeah.
elder parents.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we need to take a back seat in our careers.
Yeah.
So I think that it's very, and a lot of times we need to take a back seat in our careers. But that's what makes women great leaders, right?
Yeah.
Because we lead from the heart.
Yeah.
We have better emotional intelligence.
Yes.
And there's a reason why today you see most of the successful startups in India.
Yes.
Be it Nykaa, Mama Earth,
Yes.
Sugar, Cash Karo.
Yes.
All of these startups are women led,
Yes,
right? Because
yes.
women, I think, have the best combination of empathy, compassion, intelligence to lead a
Yes.
startup.
Absolutely. I'm falling in love with her, by the way. I'm falling in love with her answers because she's very positive. She's very good. She's very, very grounded. So I'm already in love with you, Tanya. Amazing. I agree with you in terms of in terms of how the woman is.
Yeah.
They call enterprising for a
Yeah.
reason. They're not just
Yeah.
they're multitaskers.
Yeah,
They just are not
exactly.
unidimensional. They
Exactly.
cannot, because that's how we are. There's a chip in us. We can be a mom. We can be a work woman. We can be a
Yes.
wife. We can
Yeah.
do unlimited number of tasks at the same time. But having said that, I mean, you were a 2-year-old. I mean, your kid was 2-year-old and you were in the Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Kudos to you, because that time the hormonal shift is going on in the
Yeah.
body of of a
Yeah.
woman, and it's not easy
Yeah.
to manage the pressure
Yeah.
of being on such a important platform where, and we're talking money, we're taking straight money, and you
Yes.
really have to understand and give the answers that actually relates to the them giving you funding. So thanks for sharing that experience. But I think you think it's a loss, but I think it's a win. Like you said, every single workplace made you
Yeah.
to be who you are today.
Exactly.
I think including Shark Tank experience as well.
Yes, absolutely. So, that time when I was there, actually, it was not important for me. But today, I feel like I want to redeem myself of that experience and I want to do better.
Yeah.
So that maybe I can go back to the platform again, this time with more motivation.
Yeah.
And actually raise money.
Yeah.
So I think that every experience in life kind of shapes you.
Yeah.
Whether it's a good one or a bad one.
True.
In fact, I feel that your failures are actually your biggest learnings.
Yes. Those are the stepping
Yeah.
stones for the learnings. I mean, that's why they
Yes.
say, right? The failures is where you learn.
Yeah.
It's very important. Amazing. I mean, your energy, your positive energy is infectious. Amazing, amazing stories. So tell us about the NIFT. I mean, since you had a 12,000 rupees salary for NIFT, but again, tell us about, we won't take too much about it, but
Yeah.
talk about too much about it, but then we'll at least touch base 2 or 3 things that you learned from there, which you applied or which stayed with you throughout this journey,
Yeah.
because I'm sure it does.
So, I became a design Nazi at NIFT.
Yeah.
And when we launched Zoe and now I'm working on Mama Life
Yeah.
as well, for me, everything has to be perfect. So I learned how to be perfect.
You're a perfectionist?
Yes. I sometimes feel that's also
Are
a
you a Virgo?
weakness. No, I'm an Aries.
You're Aries. Okay, got it.
Yeah, but I feel that, NIF taught me how to be perfect. It
Yeah.
taught me how, like, everything, it taught me about the importance of design thinking,
Yeah.
about applying design to make business decisions. And I think that's very important.
Yeah.
Right. At NIFT, I also learned how to just be very resilient because, it was the first time I was in a college
Yeah.
setup, and the juries we used to have at the end of the semesters, they were very tough, and the jury members were very, very unforgiving.
Yeah.
So I remember the first semester jury, at the end of it I was crying.
Yeah.
And I think it's these experiences which kind of make you tougher.
Yeah.
And the friends I made there, they
Friends
have,
for life.
yeah, like they are still close to me, and we learn so much from each other.
Yeah.
And it's great. I think that these are your formative years. So everything around you teach you so much.
Yeah. So you've been in the Gurgaon, living in Gurgaon all the while, or you've moved around India?
I've moved around India a lot. So I was born in Siliguri. For my 11th and 12th, I went to Dehradun.
Nice.
Studied in a boarding school there.
Willems?
Yes, I was at Welham.
Nice.
And then for my NIFT, I was in Calcutta. Then I worked for 2 years in Delhi. Then Ahmedabad was my graduation. Then Mumbai and Bangalore and Hyderabad for work.
Yeah.
And finally, Gurgaon is my home. I've been
Nice.
here for the last 8.5 years.
Amazing. So basically, you've traveled enough to find a
Yes.
home in Gurgaon. And
Exactly.
I think it's a great place to live. It's very livable at this point in time. There's amazing shift happening and transformation happening in the mindset. Like RBI governor said that people living in Gurgaon is living like a first world country.
Oh,
But
really?
the rest of the country is like a rural. So it's a very extreme India, but that's India, right? So Tanya, I have a very strong observation in the gender disparity in entrepreneurship world, right? People, especially women who have amazing idea, they are great orator, they can speak very well.
Yeah.
But when it comes to funding, when it comes to really asking for money, I think there is like less than 1% of Indian venture capital funding that is actually going to women.
Yeah.
Because there are limited role models, the networking challenges, and the sector specific biases also that deter women's full participation in the industries. Do you agree with this, and what is your take on it?
I strongly agree with this. There are so many stories out there where women share about how they were not given the right treatment. There are women who were told that unless you have a male co-founder, we are not going to invest in your company. And when a woman goes to an investor, the first thing that's running in their mind is, अच्छा इसकी शादी हो गई क्या? When is she going to have kids? When she has kids, then what will happen to the venture? Who will take care of the venture? And unfortunately, we are living in such a setup in India today that all women face these biases and this discrimination. So you'll find very few women-led ventures who are getting funded.
This is so sad.
It is,
because these are the
unfortunately.
life cycles of the women having to go through, the pregnancy,
Yeah.
having the postmortem,
Yes.
having the, we were talking about this, the menopausal
Yes,
stuff.
exactly.
These are all different life cycles, and the companies, there are several companies in
Yeah.
India, they're actually taking consideration of mental health
Yes.
and all that stuff, especially in the
Yes.
women as well.
Yeah.
So judging them and not giving them money for fruitful and
Exactly.
fructifying their ideas and dreams is very sad.
It is unfortunate.
It's actually very unfortunate. We should really work something out
Exactly.
in terms
Yeah.
of getting this done. I mean,
Yeah.
what are the core reasons you think? Just them judging the women life cycles, number one, but what are the other reasons why they're not funding us?
So I think the other thing is their own ego. I think that men somewhere feel very insecure, and they can't take the fact that a woman can be more successful. And this also happens in our own households, right?
Like I said,
Yeah, like when women start earning more than men, the husbands feel insecure and they stop respecting their women or stop supporting them in their journey.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it will take a lot of time for this to change in India because we are still living in a very patriarchal society.
Yeah.
But here's hoping for the best.
we have changed a lot. I mean, there is a very, very good hope because there's a lot of transformation happening on the so many levels.
Yeah.
So I hope and pray that this also changes because I think there is a great momentum
Yeah.
that's going to be there for next 5 to 10 years. I just saw the stats for the startup funding, at least 1 lakh something. I don't quote me on the number, but 1 lakh crore in just the month of May.
Yeah.
And there are like, what's the stats for male versus female founders? I mean, amazing. So if you really support the female, this can go really far and out. So I would say, go women entrepreneurs.
So, in fact, I'd like to talk about an interesting story here.
Go
When we
ahead.
went on Shark Tank,
Yes.
and our business was going up, and then we had 2 kids and our business declined. And one of the reasons for that was that my husband and I, we were running the venture together. So when we had kids, we wanted to co-parent them, and we, instead of me taking a maternity leave, we wanted to take a parenting leave,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And we spoke about
Yes,
that
yes.
during the episode.
Yes.
And at that time, Aman Gupta,
Yes.
he's very popular today.
Yes.
He actually said that when I had my first child, my wife took care of her and I focused on my business. And I feel that, the change has to come from the top, right? Everyone has to respect the fact that why is it that only women are supposed to take care of the child?
Yeah.
The men also can, and they should.
Yeah. I mean, in the West, they have paternity leaves too. They have 3 months,
Exactly.
4 months paternity
Exactly.
leaves if they want to take, or they can just segregate it, or they can use it. And I'm sure in India as well, it's the message is coming across very strong, because
Yeah.
it's not just one parent's responsibility.
Yeah.
The kid is your responsibility as much as it's the girl's.
Exactly.
It's a husband and wife's responsibility.
Exactly.
And you can make arrangements. You can actually you can call your parents if they are
Exactly.
willing to help you.
Yeah.
You can actually hire help to take your time out and do something nice, but not just for one person.
Yeah.
It has to be for both.
Exactly.
So amazing insight into it. I think we should be more tolerant
Yeah.
of women life cycles.
Yes.
It is going to happen not just with me and you, with every single woman on this
Exactly.
earth, regardless of the country, caste, creed, religion, and we should be more
Yes.
tolerant and understanding towards this, and respectful.
Exactly.
Contingent on the values and the money. It should not come in the way of how
Exactly.
you treat that person.
Exactly. I agree.
10 on 10. Moving on to the women entrepreneurs, like we're talking about them, right? So what do you think? Empowering the women entrepreneurs, how we can arm them with the tools? What kind of leadership coaching programs do you think you have taken in your journey and that has helped you a lot, which you think you can actually give it to somebody, sitting there watching us talk and giving us some really good insight that, hey, I got this from Tanya and this is amazing and this is taken from like 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Something like that. If you can share with our viewers, it'll be amazing.
So, recently I went to IIM Bangalore and I went there to study entrepreneurship.
Nice.
It was a course which was sponsored by Goldman Sachs.
Okay.
And it changed my life. After this course, I was
Huge.
able to rethink my business, the core values, what I was actually bringing on the table. And thanks to this, thanks to this program, now I've launched another brand called Mama Life. And this program is specially for women entrepreneurs. And the way it's structured, it's to help women entrepreneurs become better in their venture. So I think that for all of us, it's very important to go back to the classroom once in a while
Yeah.
to, upgrade and upskill yourself.
Yeah, I mean, education is very important. It is not
Yeah.
just when you are doing your schooling or your college or education.
Yeah.
It is throughout your life. If
Exactly.
you want to learn a skill, go educate yourself, go take an online class, go find
Exactly.
an program in IIM Bangalore for entrepreneurship.
Yes.
How long is the program, and is it online or you went there in person to
So
talk?
it's a 3-month program.
Just 3 months.
Yeah, and you need to go there for 10 days every month. And in the end, you also have a proper exam where they judge you, they give you a certificate.
We are Indians.
Yes.
We test hard. Awesome. That's an amazing story. I think that's something really, really
Yeah.
powerful
Yes.
for all those women entrepreneurs who have great ideas.
Yeah.
Maybe they can have good
Yeah.
networks to get funding, but then you need the skills too, right? You need to
Exactly.
educate yourself enough to be able to face the world
Exactly.
and make money, because you really need to make profitability at the end of the day. So I
Yeah.
think all of this has to come together as a package
Exactly.
for empowering. And
Yeah.
this is the lady who telling us all the great stories and all the great nitty gritties to become an empowering
Yeah.
women entrepreneur, which she is today. So another example I have, and I think for aspiring women entrepreneurs, right? What is the leadership advice, which is kind of question merging with what I just asked, but maybe a little different in terms of what advice do you give in terms of, how they should pursue
Yeah.
this whole journey? All right, Tanya, I would love to have you give us the leadership advice for those aspiring ladies who really want to become an entrepreneur. They might be in the jobs, they might be educating themselves, they might be in the school. I saw a movie lately called Lapata Ladies. What an inspiring movie. You know,
Yeah.
there's a fire in that girl. But she has to go a tumultuous journey to find her dream. So I think that's one of the thing which is very important. What are your advice to such females?
So the biggest advice that I can give you today is that get rid of that self-doubt. A lot of times we are always doubting ourselves and our capabilities. We look at others around us and we feel that we are not good enough. And we always think about what if we fail. But you know, what if you succeed? That's what we need to tell ourselves constantly. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we have this self doubt. I mean, this has come up so many times in the past dialogues as well. The hesitation.
Yeah.
Finding your voice, finding your seat on the table is so important.
Exactly.
And I think that only happens when you. I was talking to the other guest as well that, one of the news reporter mentioned that only 80% of the news consumption is done by male. Most of the news
Okay.
consumption, like 80% of the news consumption is done by male. So only 20% is done
Yeah.
by the females.
Yeah.
That keeps you thinking, right? Why are they not watching the news? Because they have to think about politics. They
Yeah.
need to know about elections,
Exactly.
about war, about the daily affairs. It impacts their life.
Yeah.
Why are they not watching the TV? And that's why the business also don't take you seriously because you don't have enough context to talk
Yeah.
about. So somehow it's all related
Exactly.
in terms of how your self-doubt can be,
Yeah.
removed.
Exactly.
On that note, what do you think? Who are the women leaders you actually admire?
There are lots, but one of the first ones I started admiring was Vinita Singh.
Yes,
So, yeah.
So Vinita Singh is the CEO and co-founder of Sugar Cosmetics.
Exactly. Yeah. So why I like her is that she went to IIT, she went to IM. Apparently, she rejected a 1 crore package to start up.
Yeah.
And today we know Sugar has a success story, but no
Yeah.
one knows that, before Sugar, she spent so much time trying to build things and failed at it. And now she is what she is.
Yeah.
So I like how she was so determined to
Yeah.
achieve her goals.
Absolutely. I mean, I like her too. I mean, I've
Yeah.
seen her watching. I've seen the episodes. I've never met her in person. I would love to have her in the podcast seat somewhere if it happens. But I would love to. I mean, I love Namita Thapar for that
Yeah.
matter, for all those sharks and even more. I mean, they have this muscle in them, which is very determined,
Yeah.
very grit, grace in
Yeah.
them, which
Yeah.
defines them.
Exactly.
And how do you maintain your work-life balance considering you have so many brands to work on? 2 kids, right? You're a
Yeah.
mama of 2 kids.
Yes.
Very cute. And then how do you maintain the work-life balance with your life?
So I think that it's super important to be very, very disciplined.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing which gets me going.
Yeah.
So I get up in the morning, do my workout, say goodbye to the kids,
Yeah.
rush to office, come back on time to spend time with the kids.
Yeah.
And I work from Monday to Saturday, and on Sundays I don't do anything at all.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. A lot of discipline is required,
Yeah.
and you can't mess with your schedule at all. Otherwise, everything goes for a toss.
Exactly. You have to have multiple hands, right?
Yeah.
Again, enterprising women to
Yes.
be able to multitask. All right. So we come down to the fun part of our podcast called rapid fire.
Whoa.
It's like a rapid fire in India is nothing happens without a rapid fire. But we're going to get to know Tanya even more, find out what she likes to do, eat, and we'll get 10-second each question. And we go now. Favorite book?
I'm reading this book called What Got You Here Won't Get You There by Marshall Goldsmith, and it's very interesting.
Yeah. Favorite food?
I love anything meetha.
Meetha. So
Yeah.
you're a sweet tooth.
Yes.
And just one word for Gurgaon.
Polluted.
Polluted right now.
Yeah.
I think for me it's transformative because it's
Okay.
like so much has happened lately. And so where do you shop? Myntra or Ajio?
Myntra.
Myntra. Why Myntra?
Uh,
Because you're an ex-employee.
yes, very loyal.
And then few places to hang out in Gurgaon.
These days, I've been going to a lot of play areas with my kids.
Yes. What about the restaurants?
So we go to Ambience Mall a lot, and
Nice.
all the restaurants there.
Great. Awesome. Would you prefer working for a 9 to 5 job or being an entrepreneur?
I think once an entrepreneur, always an
Always an
entrepreneur.
entrepreneur. Absolutely. All right. Shark Tank or the Indian Angels? I think there's another similar kind of
Yeah.
funding investment group
Yeah.
taking interviews of the investors.
Shark Tank. I'm going to apply again for Mama Life, and hopefully this time I'll get
Good
funded.
luck. Amazing. Now you're outside
Yeah.
the mama zone,
Yes.
and then you're like
Yeah.
actually a mama for life. Awesome. Chai or coffee?
Both equally.
Nice. Awesome. Well, that brings the end of our fun episode with Tanya. I think she was amazing. I became a huge fan of her already. We got to learn so much about her journey from creative fashion designing to the entrepreneur that she is today, and her family support system, and her journey and the learnings that she's taken and has shaped her for who she is today. Thank you so much, Tanya.
Thank
I think we
you.
learned a lot, and I'm sure this is very inspiring for someone out there.
Yeah.
So if collectively even we change one life,
Yes,
I think
exactly.
the job is done for this podcast, and I'll be very happy and excited. So thank you for your time today. I really, really appreciate your coming here and take your time today. So thank you again.
And thank you for having me. Whenever I go for something like this, I feel very special, and it motivates me to do better. And like you said that, even if I can inspire one person today, I'll feel like I've done a good job and I've lived a good life.
Absolutely. Let's talk more. And I think after your Shark Tank too. All right. On that note, thank you so much from Fem Stories. And we'll be back with another trailblazer like Tanya very soon. Thank you.
Thank
Keep
you.
watching.
Thank you.